Hello everybody, welcome to another video, and today, I got earrings. You can see them right there. Sneak. Yeah, that happened. Also, today we're talking about Persona Strikers, just whatever. Holy cow! It's been a while since I've uploaded, so I just wanted to get this out there, because I played the Persona 5 Strikers demo, and holy shit, it's really cool! I'm very excited for this game, even though we have zero idea of when it's coming to the West. But I still want to talk about it because I downloaded the Japanese demo, so I can't really speak on the plot of the game or anything like that. But I can talk about the gameplay and the music and the visuals and that music. Oh my god, that music is so good! I have a list of things, talking points, so that I don't immediately lose track of what I want to say. So first, let's go over the technical stuff. So playing this on the Switch, obviously I'm a Nintendo bastard, so of course I was playing on the Switch. Also, it's just easier to download things off of the Japanese store with a Switch because it's region free. So I downloaded that, I played it on there. First question someone might ask about a game that's on both PlayStation and PS4. How does it run? How does it look? That sort of thing. I can say with certainty, it looks really good on the Switch. Both TV mode and portably. I saw a comparison, and there is like a little bit of difference, I think, in like textures. But it's hardly anything that you would like complain about. It looks really good. And the only thing that I personally saw, like in my session, that looked kind of rough was the title screen. I don't know why, they just look really jagged. They have like those jagged pixels on the home screen when they're all like silhouettes, colored silhouettes. But that doesn't really matter because that's just the home screen. But otherwise, everything else looks insanely good. Even portably, TV mode, whatever. I played it both. I played through the whole demo, both, and it is great. Also, it runs really well. There is zero hiccups with like frames or anything like that. It just runs at a smooth. Actually, I don't know what the frame rate is on this. I haven't like looked up what the frame rate is, but it feels smooth. It feels good. And the only thing I can say about like legit performance is like the load times are kind of long. You'll be sitting there looking at the little Phantom Thief logo for up to like probably 30 seconds-ish, which doesn't sound like a lot when you say it like this, but when you're sitting there waiting for the game to load, it feels like a long time, especially since it kind of loads often, so take that as you will, but it's nothing like major. It's not like Sonic 06 type loading. It gets there, it just, you have to be patient. Talking about the actual game though, the thing that you play, it is so fun. So the demo kicks off with this little short animation of Joker, and then you get just straight into the combat. Teaches you like the basic button controls. I mean, well, it doesn't really teach you because I can't read it, but it says the Y button and it says the X button, and it is just insanely fun. The controls they make so much sense. You literally pick up a controller and you instantly know which buttons do what. Like you hit Y and it attacks, and you hit X and it shoots, and it works. And then you use like the right trigger to dash, and you use the right bumper for like special moves. It is just instantly clicks, instantly makes sense, and it's just like the controls just melt instantly. It really adds to like, I don't know, people say this all the time, and it's like kind of like it's a term that doesn't really mean anything anymore because of how overused it is, but like immersive. Like literally, the controller melts away, and you just instantly are just pulling off crazy shit from the first battle. And like I said a few seconds ago, right bumper you can use for the I'm out of frame. Right bumper, you can press it and it'll do like special moves that you like select from a menu. So how it works, so you hit it, and then it brings up like a menu similar to the one in actual Persona 5 when you're like choosing from your turn-based menu. It's like that, where time, I think it stops completely. It doesn't slow down, it just completely stops. And then it brings up like this big square on the ground of like your area of effect, and you can like twist and see where you want to launch the attack. and I feel like that really works for this game. With these Muso warrior type games, they always try and put in something from the original series to like spice it up. Like I don't know a lot about Hyrule Warriors, but I know in Fire Emblem Warriors there's a lot of like tactic stuff and like sending people to different parts of the map to fight. In this, it's all about literally choosing which special moves and like where to launch them, and like, you know, it's like, oh, you know, the fairy pixie thing is weak to this move, and you know, the big horse guy is weak to this move, and it's just like strategizing like that. I think it's a really unique touch. Makes this game feel like, you know, Persona Strikers rather than like, you know, Hyrule Warriors or Fire Emblem Warriors or any of the other Muso games. It keeps its identity. Outside of combat, though, it feels exactly like Persona 5. Like, you could show me footage of this game at the beginning when you're just walking around near Cafe LeBlanc, and you could tell me like, oh yeah, this is just footage from the beginning of Persona 5, and I'd believe you. It looks exactly the same, and I think it's done in the same engine because it's just so like one-to-one that I think it has to be, which is just even more impressive. Like, the engine that they're using, they can do both a strategy RPG and an action RPG Muso game. Like, it's insane. It's so cool, and just seeing this like world that you spent 90 hours in on PlayStation finally come to the Switch, even though it's not the same game, and it just feels exactly the same. It's so neat. I want Persona 5 on Switch so bad. But you know what? This game is cool too, so we're going to continue talking about this game. I'm not going to get into a tangent about how badly I want Persona 5, the base game, on Switch. Anyways, yeah, it just feels exactly the same when you're not fighting. And then, you know, there's a lot of things I attribute to that feeling, including the aesthetic, because it keeps the exact same visual motif and like menus, or not menus, but like UI, and menus too, I guess, but the menus are even more vastly improved than the original. It is insane. But yeah, the UI kept consistent. They do a little updates and like change a couple things, but you can tell that it's still in that same style. You know, the buttons all kind of do the same thing. Talking, you know, you still have the same character avatars for when people are talking, and the same like moving, weird, angular talking box, which is so neat. It really does just feel like Persona 5. And alright, so the menu. Alright, I'll talk about the menu for a second because that's, I guess, part of the visuals. When you hit X, you go into your menu. It is so like just it's like the perfect upgrade for the menus from base Persona 5. So in the original game, they were just like 2D images, and you know, they'd have like a little motion in them. Like there's one, I think, where like Joker's on a grappling hook and he like swings down into the frame, and then it's like, oh, here's where you can manage your items or something. In this game, they're all 3D, and it's like Joker jumps to different characters who are part of your team, part of the Phantom Thieves, which is super cool, and it like changes colors, like instead of being just black and red throughout all of it, which was pretty clean for the original. It made sense. I think it also, it's like the next evolution for that, for it to be like, oh, not just black and red, but also black and green when you're hanging out with, like, I think Ryuji, or no, not Ryuji, Futaba turns black and green, and then with Ryuji it's like black and yellow, and it's like black and pink, I think, I don't know. But they change all the colors accordingly, and it's so smooth, and it just, they went way too crazy on the menus in this game. Which is why I'm talking like for 3 minutes just about the menus. But of course, the music is insane. It's so good. Holy shit. Like, we literally got Persona 5 dancing, but I think the music in Persona Strikers is better. I mean, obviously, it's like new music, which is probably why I'm a little biased, because it's like remixes versus entirely new songs. But man, I have been listening to all of these tracks on a loop day in, day out, when I'm like at school and I'm like working on a project, or I'm just like, you know, walking around, or I'm at my computer, and it's always on. It's so good. In fact, I'll probably be playing some of it in the background of this video if I don't just use the Persona tracks I have downloaded already. But yeah, the music is so incredible. I cannot wait to download the freaking OST for this game, because it's gonna be on loop for a while. And there is a lot of cutscenes in this demo, I noticed. It starts off with a 2D cutscene, then you get like an action bit, then another 2D cutscene, although that's like the intro for the game. And then I think there's like another one with Joker when he's like entering LeBlanc after, I don't know how long the time between the end of Persona 5 and this game is, but you know, he's entering for the first time, so they like all celebrate, and it's all done in that spectacular 2D animation that you come to expect. But what really took me by surprise were the 3D cutscenes, because they look really good. There were a couple 3D cutscenes in the base game, you know, stuff like when Joker summoned Arsene for the first time, or I think when everyone summoned their personas for the first time, they all got their own like 3D cutscene, and those were cool. But these seem to be taken to like a whole nother level. I don't know what it is about like the lighting or just like the animation itself, like the fluid movement, but it looks a lot better than the base game. And I like it a lot. It looks very cool. So yeah, it has a balance of both 2D and 3D, which I like a lot, because it's just neat. I like when games can like do both and do both really well. Yeah, man, I'm so happy about this game. Like that it's coming to Switch, that it exists, that it's not just another Warriors Musou game, that it's something new and interesting. I cannot wait. To be honest, at first, when the Royal and this game were announced, I was a little more hyped for Royal at the beginning, just because I knew what I was getting into, and like we weren't sure, like, oh, it's like a Musou game, it's like a Warriors game, we don't know how hyped to be for that. But it's incredible. It's so good, and oh, man, now I'm more hyped for Strikers than anything. Like this game is gonna be so amazing, and I'm really hoping the plot is good too. Obviously, I couldn't really experience the plot because I was playing in Japanese, so I couldn't read any of the dialogue. Oh yeah, by the way, if you do have a Switch and you're planning on downloading the Switch, if you don't know how, there are plenty of tutorial videos online on just like how to make a Japanese eShop account, so I'd recommend just searching that if you want to play it, because it's very easy. It's like a probably 10-minute process. Where was I going with that? But yeah, so like, since it was all in Japanese, I couldn't really understand the plot very much. I sort of got it. I won't say it here because it's like I guess it's kind of spoiler. They kind of show it in the trailers too. But you know, if you don't want to get spoiled, I won't say anything. But there's like some idol girl and like another AI girl or something, and like a new app. Something's going on there. But I am excited to learn about it, preferably in English. I hope this game's dubbed. I think it will be dubbed. But I know they didn't dub Q2. I guess that's just because it's fucking Q2. Who cares about Q2? Yeah, I've just been playing this demo over and over again, because like I literally just started up, skip past the first cutscene, play the first fight, exit out, reopen the game, start up the thing, skip the first cutscene, play the first fight again, just over and over again, because the combat is so solid. It's such just a fun game. Whew. But I think that'll do it for today's video. I've been talking way too much and too long about Persona. But we will be doing more Persona talk in the future. A lot more Persona talk in the future, because they are milking this game, and I am here for it. Let's go. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Peace. Erode and destroy hearts of good souls, and the